Good morning, Debbie. Tell me, Debbie, and where the chat is, do you see something at the top there that says $328 raised for adults with autism? This morning I'm streaming directly on YouTube itself. I'm not streaming through StreamYards. Good morning, faithful one, Mike Stevens. Ula Walla Fu Fu Ta. Thanks, Mike. Cool. I just figured out yesterday I was screwing around with the YouTube settings and StreamYards, and I found a way where I can actually add the fundraiser to, don't have to give anything to it if you don't want to, but I found a way where you can actually do a stream, and I can actually add that to the actual stream instead of having to come in later on and add it, though. On the downside, though, I can't turn the camera off where I can on StreamYards, so everybody gets to see me smoke this morning. Good morning, glowworms, inner peas. So, pluses and minuses to it, along with being able to add custom thumbnails and a video trailer. I can do all that with streaming directly on YouTube as opposed to StreamYard. Carrie Ledwig, good morning. I hope everyone had an excellent week. Smoking doesn't frighten you, glowworm? Yeah, it doesn't violate the YouTube policies. It's just I do it. I turn the camera off when I smoke. When it's obviously streaming, when I'm on StreamYard, and I turn it off because in case it's a trigger for somebody who just recently gave up smoking, and because I have every single stream is set to 18 years of age or over, so I'm not worried about minors seeing it. I always get those assholes, anyway, excuse my language, who come in and say I'm 13, and they're trying to get you to admit that look, you're streaming to children. So it's a COPA violation, which is a protection act for minors, particularly for those under the age of 13. But that would be YouTube's issue, not mine, if they're actually showing the stream and allowing someone under the age of 18 to see it. So, good morning, MT. Smoking doesn't help your lung function, though. No, it doesn't, Mike. It does not. And if I could quit tomorrow, I would. Trust me on that. I know it's not good for me, and I know it's not the best thing, for long life, in longevity. But right now, it's the only way I keep my, the tiny bit of sanity that I have. Good morning, Deneen. Morning, Will, chat. glowworms. But it's kind of cool, though. I mean, I guess you have to kind of give and take, with your streaming services, either streaming directly on YouTube or using StreamYard. StreamYard is really easy to use. If you can use a free service, and you get so many hours per month for free. I think it's 20 hours per month, but I always run out of hours there. Especially since I stream Saturdays and Sundays. So tomorrow night we'll do true crime trivia tomorrow night. So I'm always running out of time with the free service. Used to have the paid service, but I had too many issues with the first time I signed up for it, they double billed me, and then they said they were going to credit me back, and then they ended up billing me again the next month anyways, even though they said I was supposed to get one. And then when I complained about it, they said, well, you can have this next month for free, and they didn't charge me. But I wasn't happy with their customer service at all. But eventually I'll go back to the paid service with StreamYards, or maybe I'll go to Streamlab, because Streamlab offers basically the same thing. But with Streamlab, though, I can stream to multiple different platforms. You can with StreamYards with the paid service, but you have to give and take, I guess, with all of them. Deneen Bird, it is 90 there at the beaches. Wow. Let's see here. It is currently 87 degrees here. Winds out of the south-southwest at 15 miles an hour. That is the current weather conditions outside where I am. But I would much rather be at the beach. Sounds lovely, though. Did I miss somebody? Desiree? Is that what it was? Gotta scroll up. Oh, Deidre Grayson, welcome. MT Dana Reeves died of stage 4 lung cancer. She never smoked. No one has any control over the longevity God takes you when he wants. Period. Just saying, smoke them if you got them. LOL. Yeah. Still, if I didn't smoke at all, let's just say long-term outcome, I will be retired and be pulling my pension and my Social Security benefits well before my son ever reaches high school. That's a fact. I would love to be here, and see my son grow, and experience the ups and downs of being a man. But I know I'm not going to be here, to see all that. Especially if I keep on smoking. I'm well aware of it. It doesn't escape me. Broken Justice? Why am I not seeing the name? '58 and cloudy in Portland, Oregon today, Carrie. Wish I was in Portland. I got to be outside most of the day today. It sounds lovely. Hopefully you guys aren't dealing with the high winds like we are. Why aren't you going to be here? You're young yet, Mike. Not as young as I wish I was. I wish I was in my 40s, but I'm not. Good morning, Kimmy Jean. There's Broken Justice. I was like, I see you now. I was like, I didn't see you before. She was welcoming you, but now I see you. Have you tried quitting? Ever used a patch? Is that what it's called? Glowworm. I have quit before in the past. I actually quit for a little over 4.5 years. Now you have to understand, when I grew up, I mean, I probably started smoking when I was 12, somewhere in there, and smoked until I was 16, 17, and for most of my early 20s, I didn't smoke at all. And the actual day, the day that I got out of the service, I picked up another cigarette, and I've smoked pretty much nonstop. I mean, it's been little periods of time here and there, and I've tried the Chantix, which is it's a pill. It's supposed to help you quit smoking. I've tried the patch, the nicotine patch, the nicotine gum. I've tried it all. I've even tried hypnosis, and none of it's worked so far. But the moment you give up, is the day that basically, in my opinion, that you die. So you just keep on trying. I look 40. Well, thank you, Mike. I wish I was 40. I'd love to go back to 40, and still keep the knowledge that I have today. Hi, Brandy. Brandy James. Hello, everyone. How y'all doing? Doing great, Brandy. I hope you had a wonderful week. Todd Merritt. Good. Welcome. Welcome to the stream, Todd. Reichart. Good morning, Reichart. How are you doing, sir? Gone Girl. Good morning. Welcome to the stream, sweetheart. I hope you are doing well. Not to be nosy, Will, but are you retired? Just curious. No. Well, it all depends on what you consider retired, Carrie. I quit my job. Well, I say that, but not technically. The company I worked for they decided to stop all U.S. operations. They're a French company, and that's a subcontractor for the government. So they decided to pull out of all U.S. operations in the field that I worked in. And what they were doing is, this happens a lot, especially where I work. One company will come in and they'll take over the contracts of another. So it's basically it's just a name on your pay stub that basically changes. But I decided I didn't want to move on to the other company anymore, and I looked at it as my way out. I said, when everybody was changing over from one company to the next, I just said, this is my break. I'm going to take this shot at YouTube, and I'm going to make the best of it. So that's what I did. It was my last day at work a year ago, and this is all I do. 6 days a week, I'm here working, doing YouTube, and either for myself. I have, me and my wife do a podcast together. I do this channel, and then I have an additional 3 channels on top of it. One channel where I'm mentoring other channels that people who wanted to start YouTube channels. I'm helping them learn the ropes and get set up and do all that. So I do that 2 days a week, on top of the 6 days that I'm spending researching and doing all the work on this channel. And then on top of it all, I spend the rest of my free time volunteering, trying to make a better community for those here in my area and better their lives. So, yeah, I'm working, not retired, but this is what I do. And trust me, I'm probably working harder now to make a dollar than I've ever worked in my life. But it's so much more, fulfilling for myself because I get to set the schedule. I'm working for myself, and I know, if I know what I'm doing. It may not look like it to other people. They may say, well, your video quality, your audio quality, your content, you stumble a lot through your speech. Yeah, I could get better, and I strive every day to get better at it. But this is not something that comes naturally to me. I have no computer skills at all. Science, yeah, that's my background. That's what I did for a living. I worked in the science field, but what's the headstone about behind you? It's a leftover Halloween decoration, Mike. It says, "Rest in peace, August 5th, 1827, October 1st, 1901. I'm still amongst you," is what it says. The chair caught the rug. I gotta move the camera. Yeah, let's stop on my head there. Gone Girl, how's little Taka? Oh, he's doing great, sweetheart. He really is. He's striving every day to be the best 4-year-old he can be. A bundle of energy from the moment he wakes up in the morning until the time he lays his head down to go to sleep at night. But his school year ends on the 14th for him. And then we have a summer program that we've signed him up for. It's not school. It's not summer school per se, but he has a speech therapy that he'll go to 2 days a week. And then he has it's kind of like a tumble and dance class that we signed him up for 1 day a week. So we're going to keep him active and, have him experience what he can within his own abilities, because he doesn't have the strongest verbal and communication skills. So, and children with autism don't know how to express emotions very well, at least a large majority. I can't say all children or all adults with autism, but his barriers are with education and being able to communicate. So we're trying to slowly bring him into programs and activities with other children his age, and with all the other children in the program have barriers to education as well. Most of them are either have Down syndrome, autism, or they have other barriers to education. So that's the dance and tumbling class that we signed him up for. But that's only 1 day a week during the summer. Then the rest of the time he'll be running around doing laps, in our backyard, or going to the park, or hanging out with Daddy. Normally he's with this camera sitting right now on because just on the other side of the table. He normally sits here in the afternoons while I'm researching, and I have a laptop that's sitting here that he'll sit on the laptop and he'll play puzzle games or watch Sagu or Sagwa. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. SAGU. It's a cartoon, like preschool age, like program. Learn alphabets and puzzles and stuff like that. But he enjoys it. That and Baby Shark. I hear a lot of Baby Shark. He is adorable, isn't he? Thank you. I think you do a great job reporting stories. Truly enjoy watching you. Well, thank you, Glowworm. I appreciate it. Well, I hope so, Gone Girl. It's one of those things where we have to try to, within his abilities, we have to understand at the same time that he's not going to, when it comes to the tumble class, and dance class, it's he's gonna fight us all the way, and until he actually understands that there are other children like him. And right now he's been going to school. Originally he was supposed to go 5 days a week. No, 4 days a week, and then COVID happened, and then they only got to do that for a month, and then everything was at home for Zoom, and that's the worst type of education for a child like him, because he learns more by interacting and mimicking other students, and and mimicking activities. But and then we have in speech therapy, private speech therapy class that we've always had him in, that we pay for. Luckily for both of us, though, that we have good insurance that's willing to cover the cost. But it's hard. Goes on into true crime cases. Takes a long time. Keep up the good work and give yourself more credit. I try to, MT. My wife says that I enjoy self-deprecation. I don't think so. I look at it as, there's always room to improve, and I don't like it when I make mistakes, because there's a lot of things that that I don't want. I look at every video that I do, and I always say to myself before I launch it out to the public, I always say to myself, if this was to go viral, would you be proud of the actual product that you're putting out? Do you want this to be around 10 years from now? And, a lot of what I do and how it comes across is not the best. And I know that, but I work at it. It's a crying shame. You need to get a hold of me. It's a crying shame. I click on It's a Crying Shame. I click on your actual YouTube channel, YouTube name, and there is no about me section with anything in it. There's nothing in there at all. If you can even just do that, just go to your actual settings for about me and put your email address in there. It'll hide it, so you can make it, so you can put a little checkbox in there. Somebody needs to click on it, and they click on the link, so they have to get a hold of you that way. If you could do something like that, or email me at 411now business@gmail.com. Either email me at that email address, or set your about me section up on YouTube. You won one of the t-shirts in the giveaway. You're one of only 3 who I haven't heard back from yet. CG. What the heck, man? People need to stop telling people what took their channel. If I had a channel, I'd tell them accept me for who I am, or hit the road. Yeah. To a lot of my point, you gotta think about the message that that you're sending out there, though. I mean, the couple of times in this experience that since I've been on YouTube, where I've told people, someone to, kick rocks, move on, just stop, leave me alone, leave my content alone. I've blocked them. They've changed their name, and they come back again and again and again. I've got one who just absolutely refuses to, wake up and accept reality. But you have to understand how that message goes out and is perceived by the world out there. They're like, wow, why is he attacking his subscribers? No. Seeds of Hope. Welcome to both you and CG, by the way. I hope you had both of you had a great week. Seeds of Hope. How the heck are you? New channel, but still same. Oma. Hi, Oma. I missed you, Oma. I hope you've been doing well. Well, thank you for joining us today, Oma. You're doing great. It's better to believe you can always get better and stay humble than it's to become self-indulgent prick, which you're definitely not. Some YouTubers, yeah. It's a large world out there. Negativity breeds negativity. That is very true. Very true. Hybrid Pisces. Welcome. K-Love, before I forget to say hello, good morning, K-Love. I hope you're doing well, sweetheart. Small Fries. Welcome, Small Fries. I look healthy today. Well, thank you. Jeannie, good morning. Welcome to the stream, sweetheart. I hope you had a wonderful week. Well rested. It's been a really good week. Overall for me, I would say that, I've been, my spirits have been up. I've gotten a lot accomplished that, I've been putting off. The only thing I haven't gotten done this week is I haven't mowed my lawn, my backyard. Ooh, boy. I don't get a choice if to mow my front yard. They have a landscaping service that does the front yards of everybody, mows their lawns. Front yard and side yard of every home. But I haven't done the backyard yet. So the only thing I haven't done. I have been well, thank you. It took me 29 states, 110,000 miles, almost 2 months trip. Was awesome. Saw a lot, did a lot, talked to a lot of people. Super awesome journey. Well, great. That's a lot of miles. So 29 states, 10,000 miles. Wow. Connie Kelly, good morning. If in case I missed you, I'm sorry. How are you doing this morning? I'm doing great, Connie. Doing great. Got my coffee. I'm here with friends, checking up on everyone, making sure everyone is doing well. Okie dokie. Good morning. I heard that. I heard about a guy who killed his wife because she wouldn't stop laughing at him. Talk about an ego, huh? And you did it alone? Wow. I hadn't heard about that one. I keep on bumping the table. I'm sorry about that, everyone. Oh, yeah. 401 now is the best on YouTube. I used to sell these on the fans in the fan store. There was this one. 401 is the best on YouTube, and there was the other one had said, "Don't be a dick." But I don't sell either one of them anymore. I think in the fan store, there's only like 3 items that are currently being sold. And that's mainly because I've been lazy. I haven't gotten to uploading the new designs. And I don't want to say that I'm too busy. I mean, there's obviously more than enough hours in the day where I could have gotten it done by now, but it just didn't get around to it. It's like the hats. My buddy actually owns a company that prints the hats and the designs, and he's emailed me a couple of times and asked me if I wanted to order more. I just haven't gotten around to it. Anyone know how long you have to keep pets in from weed sprayed fence line? Someone of the neighbors poisoned one of your kitties. Oh, I'm sorry, small fries. Wee Scottish lassie. Good evening. It's tea time. I'm just cooking tea. Well, Scottish lassie, welcome to the stream. I hope you had a wonderful week. I'm sure my wife is making tea right now. They love tea. My wife and my daughter both love tea. They drink a lot of tea. You want that hat? Yeah, it's the only one I have left. I had them in this is the trucker style hat with the mesh back. I had them in black and white, and then I also had them in pink and white. And they are all gone. I gotta get a hold of my friend. He owns a printing company down in Reno, Nevada. Kevin Brand, good morning. Until it rains or a heavy water, small fries. You have the purple tea, the taco podcast one. Good morning, Gayla. I was going to answer that question about the spraying, but it all depends upon what kind of spray there is. You know, they used. I mean, I would wait a couple of days, you know, to be on the safe side. But you know, we don't use any spray around here, and the 6 neighbors that are on our block area where our house is, none of them use spray, and they all signed an agreement to not spray. And the homeowners association doesn't use any kind of weed control spray or anything like that in this area as well. And it's because we have bees. So, you know, and we actually had to go and petition the homeowners association board to actually bring bees in to get approved and then not have anybody spray in this area. So for weed control, they use a granular weed control in this area, but not everywhere though. I'm sorry about that, small fries. Okie dokie, I love antique shops. The one place, if they know the older you get, the more valuable you are. I love antique shops too. Me and my wife used to go antiquing when we first bought this house. We were getting ready to finish it all. 3 days to be safe at your community garden. We use vinegar for weeds. Vinegar works awesome, and also works great for getting rid of flies. That's what we put in. Take a 2-liter bottle and put about that much apple cider vinegar in a 2-liter bottle, and just set them out in a shady area. The flies are attracted to it, and they can't get out and they can't get away from it, and the fumes actually kill them. Anonymous donated $5. Oh, thank you, Anonymous. I appreciate it. See, that this is the great thing about this, where I can't do that with the streaming on StreamYards. I can't add the charity, you know, here. But here I can't. I figured out how the other day when I was messing around with the actual settings. Anonymous. Well, thank you very much for your donation. $50. Thank you very much. Small fries. Thank you, everyone. I don't use that stuff because the pets and people with breathing issues. Robin Lane, welcome. But isn't that cool though? You guys can see this too, right? I love that I can actually do this, because what I was doing in before was actually, after the stream was over with, I would have to go into the settings on YouTube and then add the charity at the end of it. So whoever was watching it and rewind would had to deal with the ads, plus they'd see the charity itself. But now with streaming directly only on YouTube, I can add the charity during the actual stream itself, which is cool. And FYI, I get nothing from it at all, except for the knowledge that maybe someday, after when my son, is an adult after the age of 18, that he may actually benefit from it in some fashion from Next for Autism. But thank you to those who donated. It doesn't say who it is, but I really do appreciate it. Bye, Kimmy. You have a great day. Be right back. Coffee time and medication time. Well, thank you, Kimmy. I got most of my garden planted, but then my SIL brought me a bag of seed taters. Like, potatoes? You're talking about when you say seed taters, like the actual potatoes themselves? So now I'm going to figure out where to plant that. Debbie Gilligan, I have to get your second vaccine on the 14th. Did anybody have any problems with the second shot? I'm scared to death. Well, my first shot I got, I didn't have any issues at all with the second shot. The first shot. The second shot, I kind of felt like, a little drained, physically. It's like, but I know I didn't have any issues at all. My wife and my daughter had basically the same with the second shot, but it wasn't anything at all, Debbie, that was out of. It's kind of like if you've ever gotten the flu shot, and then after you get the flu shot, it's kind of like you just don't feel like 100%. But no. Easily distracted, getting your second shot today. And welcome to the stream, Easily Distracted. I hope you had a wonderful week. So, in case you guys don't know, I'm streaming just on YouTube. I'm not streaming through StreamYards this morning, so I can't turn the camera off. I put a chicken, but it came out as a squirrel. I didn't even notice that. I thought it was a chicken. In New York, they're trying to enforce no entry to a bunch of places unless you have proof of vaccination. Not here. Not here. They actually made the governor here in my state actually made a mandate, and he just came on the news the other night that no one should be refused entry into anywhere because they don't have the vaccine. If you don't have the vaccine, then you still have to wear the face mask coverings. So I didn't have a, you had a headache from yours, small fries? I didn't have a headache. It just felt like I was, worn down, like I needed to just take it easy. You know how your body feels after you get exhausted. It was kind of like that with me. It just felt like I had, kind of like a seasonal allergy, a funk, and it only lasted for about 2 days, and that was perfectly fine. I've heard they can't ask for proof of vaccination. Yeah, it all depends on where you are. A lot of states no, they're not asking for proof of vaccination. But then again, like right now, a lot of in my area, high school is getting done or going to be done this coming week. And for graduation, they're separating, crowds from people like, okay, you've been vaccinated, you can sit in this section. If you're not vaccinated, you have to sit in this section. Yeah, but they're not asking for proof of vaccination to go in. They're letting people do it on their own merit. Like, hey, I've been vaccinated, but they're not asking people for proof of vaccination. But that small fries. That's kind of like the same thing with most shots. Just rest up and drink plenty of fluid. Hmm. Keep your vax card in case. When in my state, we have them right on our phone. You can access your vaccination card on your phone. For me and my family, we've never been asked for it, but then again, we're not going to stop wearing, and taking precautions anyways. Going to the store, even though we're all vaccinated, we're not going to go to the store or anywhere without face covering and still taking precautions because that's just who we are. We've lived with and we're in the science and medical field so much. Not Adirondack chairs. I love those chairs. Wish I had a couple of those for like my patio. I gotta buy a new patio set. The table that we had was a hexagon, but we had a windstorm and I forgot to take the umbrella out and it shattered the glass table. So then we got another table that's it's kind of an oval shape. I'm not happy with it, and the chairs and stuff don't really go with it. You hate colds, easily distracted. Zelda. Okay, Zelda. When do I get the coleslaw recipe? I showed that video to my wife, and she watched it as well. And we both want the coleslaw recipe later today. Okay, I'm gonna be watching, Zelda. You clickbaited me. I watched that video and I'm like, come on, she's gonna make KFC coleslaw, and it looks nice little particles like the coleslaw that you'd get at KFC. So if you guys haven't checked out Zelda's channel, you need to go over and check her out. Just as her name appears here on screen, Zelda. You can put it in the search box at the top and go over and check out her content. She does a great job on her channel, everyone. So later today, we get the actual recipe itself. Gianna Marie, welcome. I never would have guessed, that's how they make the coleslaw. But it looks like it, the same little tiny, sizes of pieces of cabbage. You want KFC now, Gianna Marie? Made coleslaw with sweetened cranberries and raisins. Yummy. Easily distracted. My wife, the coleslaw that she makes, normally has cranberries in exchange for raisins, but she also puts walnuts in her coleslaw. I'm not a big fan of it, so I just kind of pick through it and leave the walnuts out. But she likes it. Her friends all like it. It's not my cup of tea. But she does for her, instead, not the way that Zelda showed how to make the coleslaw itself, but we have those. It's called an adalia. It's got like a little square cutting. Let's see, a square cutting thing that you cut it up your cabbage in little pieces, and it breaks it down in little tiny squares. And but that's how she makes her coleslaw that way. "12-Step Woman." Hello, Will, and everyone. Happy Saturday to you. Well, thank you, 12-Step Woman. I hope you had a wonderful week this past week, and hope you have a nice, relaxing weekend. Thank you for joining us again today. Gianna Marie, she is. I'm a very lucky man. I'm a very lucky man, and in that regards, she understands and puts up with me in all my quirkiness, and I get on her nerves, quite a bit, but after 20, almost 26 years of marriage, the only way I'm leaving this marriage is in a pine box. That's what she always says. The only way you're leaving this is in a pine box. Like, wow. 12-step, 37 years of marriage here. Well, congratulations on the 34 years of marriage, 12-step woman. I'm in the middle of a mess. Just lost my father, so I ended up with lots of his belongings. Told my sister to have to do something with my uncle's ashes, so we don't end up donating him. Oh, I never will, Reichardt. I never will. Yeah, I think I am. I'm more of a romantic than a fighter. Well, we've lost all of our dogs except for one. Only dog we have left now is my dog Lucky. So in the last month, we had to put down all of our dogs. Had to say goodbye to them all. So and that's devastated my wife. Sorry to see them go, but they all lived long lives, and they lived a lot longer, and they had a better life than they ever would have had somewhere else. Oh, Now we're just down to 2 cats and 1 dog. I think, with medication, my dog will probably live maybe a couple more years of good quality of life, because the medication that he's on now is definitely doing a lot for his because he has hip dysplasia. Oh, thank you, K-Love. But I mean, they were all rescue dogs, and my dog in particular was the people who had him beforehand. They were going to put him down because he would have ruined their bloodline because it was 2 champion show dogs who had gotten together, and that's where he came from. So, luckily, for me, that lucky came into just happened to be in the circumstances where I had the room and I had the room, the time, and the love and compassion to give him a good life. So, gonna get another one? No, this is it for us for pets. I mean, we thought about maybe getting another dog for my son, maybe when he's older. Not right now. He loves my dog. He loved the other dogs too. He used to go and he'd lay down next to their dog bed. He'd just lay there next to him and just pet them. So who knows? I say we're not going to, but I don't know. Don't know what the future is going to bring. Alan, RFC, been watching this guy. Where'd it go? Love from Scotland, Alan RFC. Welcome to the stream, Alan. Been watching this guy for almost 2 years. Nice guy, talks sense. So thank you, Alan. I appreciate that. Leave it to Beaver. Here's my Beaver. Good morning, sweetheart. I hope you had a wonderful week. Remember, Beaver, breathe in, breathe out, sweetheart. I love the compassion that you have, Beaver. I really do. But you got to remember to relax. But your compassion is definitely coming through on your videos. And if you guys haven't checked out Leave It to Beaver's channel, just how it's spelled there, go check her channel out. You're gonna really like her content. If you want to hear someone talk straight and give it to you exactly how it is, Leave It to Beaver. Great channel, great content. Red Rum. Red Rum. Good morning, Red Rum. How are you doing, sweetheart? I hope you had a wonderful week. My nephew has a lab trained to help him, and he is on the autism spectrum, small fry. They have programs where they do actual training here for service dogs for children with autism or other barriers, or the developmental issues. We've thought about, and that's one of the things we always said, no more pets. After all these dogs and cats and everything, it's hard to take a vacation, as a family, to go anywhere for any extended period of time. And so we've always taken separate vacations. My wife they like to travel outside the United States, and me, not so much. There's so much of the United States that I still haven't seen or experienced that I want to see still. And I've been to every state. It's just there's still always, you can't cover everything, and there's places and events that I would love to go see. Will, have you seen Casey and Anthony's video in the bar? Yeah, Gianna. She says that that was her ex-boyfriend, who is a former police officer. I've seen the video. Yeah, I can't stand Casey Anthony. She deserves to be in jail. Her poor daughter. Poor girl. His lab is trained to keep him in bed at night and keep him from wandering off. Well, that would probably be a good thing. That's one of the things that my son always, we're always afraid of is wandering off. We have to have locks, actual padlocks on our gates, so when he's out in the backyard, he doesn't wander off. And there's nothing that will scare a mother or father to the core than realizing your child was in the backyard playing in a fenced-in yard, and then they're gone. My son actually found out and found a way to scale a 6-foot wooden privacy fence, and got over. And I was running around crazy looking for him, and here he is in my neighbor's yard, in the backyard of his house, because the yards don't sit directly straight across from each other, so every yard is kind of off, like this. They're off centered a little bit. So he got out of my backyard into my neighbor's yard here, and just had lucky that my neighbor had just come home, and he was in between his interviews, going out to job interviews, and here's my son in his backyard running around playing with all his kids' toys. What actually attracted him to go over there was he saw in the backyard on the porch a bunch of Nerf guns. So he got over our fence into his backyard and was playing with his children's Nerf guns. But he picked him up and held him up and boosted him up over the fence. He was wearing a 3-piece suit. My son was probably pretty dirty because he had been playing in the backyard for a while, and that scared the hell out of me. I was like, wow. My wife knows that I had him when she went to work. I probably should have him when she gets home. We don't have much of a problem in getting up in the middle of the night, though. But I mean, if they have a trained dog that helps in that capacity, that'd be a good thing. Always keep an eye on him. Yeah, right, Cart. Do your best. He's a sneaky little one. He's so fast. Super fast. he loves this, like, their normal speed of how things are done, and then they're super slow and then super fast. So whenever you do something with him, he wants you to do it in like super fast speed. I get such a kick out of him. We live in a town next to West Palm Beach, Florida. I know exactly where she lives. She's not exactly hiding. Well, no, Casey Anthony, she has her own private detective agency. She's in the same bar downtown all the time. Oh, why doesn't that surprise me at all? Got a fly in here. Been driving me nuts all morning. Yeah, I saw that, Robin. I saw the video of that. She's dating a cop. What the fuck kind of world is this? Is he still an officer? An active officer, or is he a former police officer? I wasn't too sure because it all depends on which news article you actually read or watched. Some of them referred to him as an ex-boyfriend. Some of them referred to him as a current boyfriend. Some of them referred to him as an ex police officer, and other ones refer to him as an actual still active officer. Excuse me. Robin Lane. Crying shame. I can't get a date, but Casey and Anthony can. All right, I got to scroll up here. I'm sorry for bumping the table. Let me move this back a little bit forward. Yeah. The tripod is sitting too close to the table. So every time I bump the table, it bumps that tripod. Will, can adults with autism live alone? Oh, of course they can. Yes, very, very much can. Adults with, they're just like, it's a spectrum. So there's a low end and there's a high end, when it comes to autism. And that's why they call it a spectrum disorder. That's a spectrum. Children, and adults with autism, you'd be surprised. You probably know adults who have never been diagnosed with autism who are on the actual spectrum itself. They're just like everybody else. They may have problems with expressing emotions or reading and picking up cues from other people. Like maybe there's somebody in your office or at work or in the supermarket or someplace you may see them where they just don't pick up on the cues. If somebody is happy, if they're sad, or if they're angry, they don't pick up on those actual social cues from individuals, and they may be more quiet than others because the way that their brain processes information. Depending on where they are on the spectrum, there's barriers that each and every one of them is different, but you very well may know adults out there who just, they're autistic, they're on the spectrum, but you don't know it. They don't even know it. And there was something like 3 million, Americans that were diagnosed with autism, during this one study, period. I can't remember the study period, but people who didn't know at all that they were autistic. They just figured that they were different from everyone else around them. But can they live alone? Oh yeah, they live full lives, and some of the most successful individuals out there in business have autism. Mark Cuban, he says he's on the spectrum, and he's a billionaire. Because he's always had issues with picking up social cues and other things within his life, but he understood that his brain processed information differently, so he just learned to work around those issues within his life, and that's what most people with autism do. Dustin Hoffman did an amazing Rain Man. Rain Man had what they used to call Asperger's syndrome. And Asperger's, they don't use the term Asperger's anymore, but it is on the spectrum of autism. Not every child, or adult with autism can, you throw a box of toothpicks on the floor, can count all those toothpicks, and tell you how many toothpicks there are. There are those with who have savant musical talents, mathematical talents, just like there are in other people without autism. There are people who have gifts at they hear music once and they can repeat it. There are people on the autism spectrum who have that. There are people who out there without autism who can do that. I wish I could hear a song once and be able to play it, but I don't. What term do they use instead of Asperger's? They just don't anymore. Okie dokie. It's just part of the autism spectrum now. That, and it has to do more with who asked the Asperger's, the actual doctor that it was named after, and some of the things that he did during his lifetime of study in on the actual spectrum. So they kind of distance themselves away from using the term Asperger. Asperger's. Stiffy. Hi, Stiffy. Good morning and welcome to the stream. I hope you had a wonderful week this past week, Stiffy. Even though she was acquitted, most departments would really frown on an officer dating a person tried for murder. I've seen officers fired for that. How about just morally? Morally, I mean, what kind of person would want to date someone, even if they're acquitted of a crime like that? And there's somebody in my backyard. I didn't see who it was. They walked past the window. I have the door open so I can see outside. You can hear a song once, and you can sing it every note of all the parts. Wow, okie dokie. That's cool. Did anybody remember Name That Tune? The TV show in the 70s, Name That Tune. I always wondered how people could do something like that. I can name that song in 3 notes. I hear those 3 notes and I'm like, it'd be like, ding, dong, ding. And I'm like, how the hell did you know that was, Stairway to Heaven or whatever the hell the song was? I always wondered how they could do that. Officers in your department have been fired for even communicating with a jail inmate. Name That Tune. Tells you how old I am. I remember that show when I was a kid, but that was one of my father's favorite shows. He used to watch the Lawrence Welk show, and then Name That Tune. And then he would turn off the television and listen to Frank Sinatra, and most of the Rat Pack, except for Dean Martin. He wasn't a big fan of Dean Martin, music, but the Rat Pack. He loved Sammy Davis Jr. and Frank Sinatra. Inner Peas, you remember too? Yes, 12-Step Woman, you're in your 50s as well. Yeah. Yep. Oh, did I miss Sarah? Oh, there you are. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to the stream. Only question I have is, why is it taking so long to get trials going for the dumbbells? Well, COVID had a lot to do with it, slowing things down. And then the state of Idaho, for some reason, they just I don't know if it's. I was talking to somebody who's in the legal profession and who he doesn't have he hasn't passed the bar exam in the state of Idaho, so he can't practice law in the state of Idaho, but he can in Washington, Oregon. But I was asking him about it, and he said that for some reason the judge really didn't want to put a hard deadline on no more motions to be filed, because it seems like it dragged it out forever with all the motions, and everything's just been going so slow. Now for Lori, they're going to have a court date, so the state can contest the actual findings of her being, incompetent to aid in her own defense. They'll fight that and certain things that are in that report, and then they're most likely going to set another court date after that to have. But in between those 2 court dates, they're going to have her examined by their own expert on top of it all. So, and then then things will get going with Lori. Chad, everything's just kind of like everything is still on track for Chad, and it's going to keep on going forward for him. But I know it just takes forever. At least it seems like it is, because we're well over a year now into this. It took 3 years to start the Casey Anthony trial. Yeah. So wheels of justice, sometimes it just seems like it goes so slow. And other times it seems like cases just fly by. You remember his show? Guy Lombardo and the Canadians. I remember Guy Lombardo and the Canadians. My mom loved their music. I don't think I have any Guy Lombardo albums, but I might. I might have some. I got a lot of records, an awful lot of records. Some of them are sitting in cardboard boxes in storage in the house, in a storage closet. I really do think that Lori is really just doing it put on. I really do think that she's just a severe narcissistic manipulator. She definitely, Beaver, she definitely has a lot of traits of somebody with narcissistic personality disorder, but she hasn't been diagnosed with anything. But she definitely has a lot of those traits. Is she faking it? I think that she would have to. She's always been a massive manipulator. And did she manipulate the situation and the examination? I wouldn't put it past her. I mean, she's always gotten, manipulated people her entire life to get exactly what she wanted. Have faith that she can't fool everybody all the time. That's true. Lori, there's a nut there. Mr. Means has been raising a stink over everything because he's a corporate attorney and he isn't sure on the criminal law. There's a lot to that, Small Fries. He hasn't had a lot of practice in criminal matters. He has done a lot work with the LDS Church for most of it has been contractual issues, contract law. He has worked a lot for the LDS Church in that regards. He's done some criminal matters to keep members away who have been kicked out of the LDS Church. If you look at his experience with the LDS Church, he's done other. He hasn't just worked for the LDS Church. He's done a lot of law practice there in that area. Well, a lot of different things, but not a lot of experience in criminal law. And it's kind of bizarre. Some of the things that he's doing, it's like that's more of the things that he's been filing are not necessarily how you would conduct or work a criminal case. It's more of how you would do a civil case. So instead of using the courts to communicate with the other attorney, you could simply just pick up the phone or email them. But he's using the court system to communicate with everybody. Kind of bizarre. You kind of wonder, it's like, why would Chad pick this attorney of all the attorneys to defend Lori? There are a lot of other attorneys in that area, especially in the Salem area, that are really and have a really good reputation in criminal defense. So he didn't pick them. He picked, Mr. Means. Palico? Shonda, I will, if you're here in the stream right now, I will get to the request to join the Facebook group after the stream is over with, okay? Welcome, though. You pronounce it Palico? Chad doesn't care about anyone but himself. I think Chad's freaking delusional, to tell you the truth, Reichart. I think what happened to him, where he had his first vision, I think he had a stroke. And he saw it as a vision from the other side. I think he had a stroke. That's just I can't say, prove that, but that's just what I think. Laura was able to convince the mental health examiner she was fine in Arizona when she was telling Mr. Vallow he was someone else. Oh yeah, well yeah. Remember seeing those videos about Charles talking to the Chandler Police Department about Lori believed he was somebody else, and that she could have him killed. Yeah, she passed that mental health evaluation, but that's not the first mental health evaluation that she has had. When she was going through the divorce with Joseph Ryan, she had to have a mental health evaluation done then, and she passed that one. So, and then Charles, again, I feel so bad, sad for both those guys. I mean, and both of them ever wanted to do was just love their children. And then to have a wife, an ex-wife like Lori, oh my God, that had to be terrible to deal with. Yeah, Robin, I don't think that they're true either, but it's kind of, if you look at the case now, it's kind of interesting how he's been distancing himself from Lori. Lori wants to have a joint trial. He don't want to have a joint trial. Lori needs money for defense. I'm not giving her any money for her defense. He's been pushing putting distance between himself and her. Yeah, maybe it's with legal maneuvers, but it certainly doesn't speak well, for that love affair that they have. Pryor is helping him with that. Pryor's helping him with what? Putting the distance between the two of them. I mean, it very well may be, a legal maneuver to put some distance between him, because she's going down. Even if she was to, let's just say hypothetically, she was to be able to get away with what she did in Idaho. I mean, the Maricopa County has already filed, contempt charges, of murder. So, either way, she's not getting away with it at all. And and you can bet your last dollar if she's not convicted. Let's just hypothetically say she gets off on everything that they have charged her with in the state of Idaho. The Social Security Administration is going to come after her federally. For sure, they're going to. Even if they don't get her on the state charges for misappropriation of funds and for lying on and using the money that was meant for the children for the care for minors, from the benefits from Charles and Joseph. Even if she gets away with that, at the state level, the federal government they have a damn near from the outside looking in, and almost a perfect case to prosecute her on the federal level. There's no way she's ever going to be able to prove that she knew the children were alive during the time that she was in Hawaii, and that the money that she was spending and living it up in Hawaii and on that run for that's 28 days. She's never going to be able to prove that she knew the children were alive and they were well, because they can prove, within a time window of when the children were actually, buried on Chad's, farm, by cell tower records and everything else. So they know when the children died within a couple of days period. You can't get away with that. Text messaging and everything else on top of the cell records of Chad saying that, he was burying a raccoon that he had shot. So she's screwed. And all that money she spent afterwards, was supposed to be going for the welfare and care for her minor children from the Social Security Administration. She can't get away with that, because she not only collected 1 month's benefits for both of them, she collected 2 months benefits from them and spent that money. Robin Lane, my ex-husband is South African, and I couldn't believe if everyone kept asking me to speak when I was there because they wanted to hear your accent. Connie Kelly wants to go to Switzerland someday. I want to go. I want to go back to Ireland. Speaking of small fries, by chance, did you see the news article and see that Apple is getting sued from they've they're being sued because even if you turn off the tracking location device on the actual iPhone, they have another program it's in the background that is running that constantly gives out your location. Your friends may not be able to see it when you post on Facebook to tell you where you are, but Apple has been collecting data on where everyone is with another app in the background that so they automatically knew where you were, so they could suggest local businesses and stuff to you on the iPhone. But they're being sued. So yeah, if I wouldn't want to have an iPhone, but people love them. So 25 Celsius now in Finland. Our usual 2-week long summer is here now. 2 weeks? You get 2 weeks of summer? I don't think that's the place for me. Because nobody knows how to survive without their cell phones anymore. So they get caught. Okie dokie. That's true. Take your battery out of your phone, and most phones you can't. That was another thing that came down was the federal government finally is backing the laws that have been on the books to right to repair. In most cell phones, you can't take the battery out of it to repair it, replace it anymore. So, Carla, welcome. They get caught because they don't take their know how to play chess. There's three steps ahead. People are stupid. Super chat cat Will, do you know what Mommy Ramblings was catfished by one of her subs? She even had a woman stay with her for vacation, helped her emotionally, financially, etc. Turns out her life was made up. I didn't know that. I did not know that, super chat cat. Now I know she was catfished. I knew about that, but I didn't know the circumstances around that. I unsubbed from her, Sarah. You're a rambler, Robin. With J Bells. Connie Kelly, you have a Galaxy JS and you like it? I have G7. It's a LG. I got my family, my wife, and when I say my family, my wife and my daughter, they're constantly buying phones, and upgrading. And they had one of those BOGO deals going on where buy one get one free, and all they had was this. This is mine. That's kind of like a pinkish metal chrome. So they here, buy one, and my daughter got the one that she wanted, and this one was free. So that's where I get my phones. Otherwise, I use them until they break and they stop working. And then once they stop working, we scrub the memory and take everything off it, pull a SIM card and everything from them into expanded memory, and then I give it to my son to play with because he likes the Instagram filter, so he can add cat ears or funny faces to people, and he'll use the camera, on it. But you can't actually get online and do anything. I think she is writing a book about it. Well, good for her. Pink is a manly color, Sarah. I don't care what it looks like. To me, I mean, I don't know if you guys see this here, but I dropped it once and it broke the glass back on it because I use I don't plug it in. I put it on the wireless charging port, and it automatically syncs with my computer. And then all the pictures and everything are saved on external hard drives. You do? I don't think I own a single pink shirt. Red. I got a couple red shirts over there that are hanging up. Connie, yeah, he is. He's a wanker, all right. Think he knows. It's all especially about the watch kid. Alan, he's going to keep on playing that fiddle forever. He's never going to, get off that case. I follow Martin Dehan. Yeah, if you guys want to check out a channel that makes is making Alan be accountable for what he's said and what he's done. Martin Dehan. How long is summer vacation is for a 15-year-old, 8th grade in the U.S.? My son's vacation started today and returns to school August 15th. I don't know for a 15-year-old, and it's been a while. So my daughter's 24. So I don't remember how long of a summer vacation is. I think here, and I don't know if there's a steadfast rule all across America, but I know for here locally where I am, I think her summer vacation is like 4 months or 3 months, something like that. Because they're off June, July, August, and I think they go back just at the end of August or just after it. But it's kind of different though, because my daughter, when she was in high school and she was that age, she didn't go to a public high school. She went to a STEM school that is focused on mathematics and science only, and they remove PE, and they remove other extracurricular activities like band and art. Kind of sucks, but at the same time though, they then add more mathematics and writing and history and stuff like that to focus on those kind of classes to where she went. So, but I believe her summer vacation was 3 months long. My kiddos go Labor Day to Memorial Day unless they have to make up for snow days. Yeah, it's something like that here, but I think it was shorter. I think they went back before Memorial Day or one of the holidays. We get 4 months for summer there, Sarah. Lexi lost her channel of 20,000 subs because she was calling out AD all the time. Short Nice, welcome. I hope you had a wonderful week. Kids here started today as well. You know, my son goes to school until the 14th, and then I would have to have the calendar. I have it on the refrigerator in the house, but I think his summer vacation is 3 months. Oh, you have no idea, Short Nice. When it comes to his minions and what they have done to me and my channel, yeah, I've got screenshots of them doxing me on the Facebook group. They came after me, and they came after me hard, full court press. And all I ever did to him was offered him the forensically examined videos of the chateau in the driveway. I had the uncut version of the CCTV from the neighbor's house, forensically examined by 2 separate companies who neither one of them knew that I'd sent it to them. And I paid to have that done. And they couldn't find that shadow person in the driveway. And they broke down the headlights and all that stuff in the reports. And I offered to them for free. So they went after me because he laughed at me. I was like, wow. So I get a lot of them still to this day that just all they do is harass me. But it's okay. We have construction at our middle and high school. No summer at all. Yeah, isn't that funny, Connie? How he suddenly is now, for one side over the other. Yeah. J-Bells is a whack job for sure. I guess you heard about the difference between Finnish and U.S. schools. We have a standardized testing and much shorter school days, etc. I was, where was it? I want to say it was I don't know if it was Finland. I was watching a thing on Vice TV where they have a school, I think it was in Finland, that specializes in nothing but skateboarding. It's all it is. That is they actually have classes on learning to skateboard. But it picks up that small group of students that normally would stop going to school, that would have dropped out, and gives them an education, but it keeps them interested in actual school. I think that was in Finland. Could have been in Norway. Connie. Yeah. No, 12-step woman. It never is. But I don't let it bother me. I'll tell you just how stupid these people are. The last 2 times they tried to dox me, they picked the wrong individual, and they Googled it or however they came up with the information. One was an African American man who has the same name as me, who lives about 600 miles away. He doesn't live at the address that they tried to send people to when they were trying to dox me. So that wasn't me. And the other one was a individual who is a former state patrol officer who has the same name as me. And I've actually met him. He has the same name as me. I actually met him in traffic court one day. I was there because I was a pizza delivery driver when I was in college, and I parked the wrong way on a one-way street in Pullman, Washington, delivering pizza. And I got a ticket. All I did was pull around the corner and park. It was the only available parking spot. But I met him in actual in court. He was a really nice guy. Does your son get extra help with classes? Well, Gianna Marie, yes, he does. Yes, he does. He has what's called an IEP, individual learning program, an assessment that they have goals that they have set for him. And then me and my wife, we have him in speech therapy on top of it. It's speech and occupational therapy classes that we pay for out of our own pocket. Well, insurance pays for most of it. They pay for about 3/4 of the actual cost. So we have about 25% as our deductible on those classes. But and he does get extra help, and wherever we can find help, we're always looking into more. Oh, thank you, 12-step woman. I appreciate that. He gets help even when an adult. Any public school our only option here. No one competes where their kids go to school because there's no need. Same education everywhere for everybody. Well, here in my area, we have STEM schools, public schools, private schools, and then we have faith-based education schools in my area. And that's from everything from preschool all the way through high school in my area. We do everything we can for my son to try to get him, as the best shot at life, because we understand it's not going to be easy for him. So, I think she said that Mommy Ramblings is writing a book about being conned, I guess, basically. Okay, love. I don't know. We haven't done anything. We didn't delete it. I think you're Caleb. I think right now you're the only mod in here. I haven't seen any of the other ones today. Japan goes to school year round with 12 days. Everyone's not the same, so your kids flourish with individual learning. Oh, that's good. And it's a crying shame. Oh, thank you for the donation to the charity, Anonymous. My 5-year-old is excellent at multiplication already because we could see how he loved math and really focused on advancement. Now his writing needs a little work. That's my daughter. My daughter started off that way. By the time she was done with high school, she'd already going from middle school to high school. By the time she was in that age group, she had already finished all of her high school mathematics and completed all her mathematics for her AA. And I mean, she's just a whiz at math, and we knew it from a young age. She could add, like she didn't like subtraction, but she loved adding. And I used to help her with. I used to put pocket change out, pennies, nickels, and dimes and quarters. And she would add it all up, and then break it all down. She was really interested in change. We once had a yard sale, and she sold rocks. Like rocks out of the ground from we had been doing putting an underground sprinkler system in our front yard. There's another house that we owned a long time ago, but we had all these rocks that were piled up, and she actually sold rocks to people. 25 cents a rock. She actually sold them. I have no idea what those people did with the rocks that they bought, but she was hard to say no to. Super cute kid. Still is to this day. I mean, as an adult, but I'm sorry about the passing of your father. You think he had autism, right, Cart? You'd be surprised. I mean, I want to say that the 3 million adults in America that were diagnosed with being on the spectrum for autism, I think it was in a 5-year span, but I don't remember the actual years that they actually did the study. But there's a lot of people out there who are on the spectrum who don't know that they really are. They just think that and you live with it your entire life. And if you don't know anybody else who's like you, you just think that you're just different from other people. A lot of people are like that. They have no idea. Dozed off a minute. Well, all needed is sing a song or something. Excuse me. I have followed U.S. crime cases for some time now. You really have weird cases there, I must say. Have you covered McNabb case at all? No, I haven't. I have not covered the McNabb case. It's on one of the lists in one of these notebooks here, though. Um, 12-Step Woman is a mod over on Duty Ron's channel, right? I definitely see you on Duty Ron's streams. Far-reaching social media. We hear so many more crimes. Yeah, that is true. Okie dokie. Do you think? Who do you think was the real Jack the Ripper? I don't know, Mike. To answer your question, I've seen a lot of speculation of who might be the real Jack the Ripper, but I don't know. I think that one of the more recent ones that I read was that Jack the Ripper might have been a doctor. Some people have speculated, it could be a lot of different people. I think somebody even said that it might have been H.H. Holmes, but I doubt that. It might have been someone from Scotland, I think it was. There was one of the other theories out there. Don't know. Interesting case, though. I mean, I'd like to see somebody solve the Bible John. Well, thank you, Jill. Welcome to the stream. I hope you had a wonderful week and you have a great weekend. Thank you for joining us today. I think it was a doctor too. Tumbly. I think it was the Headless Horseman. Connie. I think it was the Headless Horseman. I agree with that, Short Nice. It really is. I'm actually trying to avoid some of the cases, that have come across in the news lately. about what some parents have done to their children, either killed them or neglect and abuse them. I'll never understand how anybody could do that to their own children. It's hard to wrap my own head around why people would do that. True crime, rocket science. Yeah. Well, and I knew you were. I see you over there on. I was listening to his live stream the other night. I have to catch up on a couple of videos that Duty Ron has done lately, but I try to keep abreast on. I listen to his live streams a lot more, especially about the Orrin and Orson West case. The two missing boys out of California City. I'm there. I just don't have time to comment all the time. Try to, but I just don't have because I can listen to them on my cell phone. I can set my cell phone down, like I'm in the kitchen making lunch or something. I set it on top of the coffee maker, so I can hear it while I'm making lunch for my son, or if I'm doing something else in the house, I can listen to it. I love Duty Run's content. If you guys want to check out a really good channel, Duty Run's channel is an excellent channel. He does every one of the cases that he's covered justice. There's a midwife in England on remand for the killing 12 babies. The trial starts in February. Wow. You don't like it when he involves politics into his videos? Yeah, well, but at the same time, though, I may not agree with 100% of his political views or his affiliation, but I still have mad respect for the man. He cuts out a lot of the drama and bullshit that's out there. Excuse my language, but he tells it like me. Just gives you the facts and brings on the guests, who can help you understand the what's going on in the case. And there's I have a lot of respect for somebody who can actually, engage with their viewers and tell it how it is without the speculation, because so much of YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, that's all it is. They get that little tiny small sound bite and they just run with it, or they're just reading the evening news, or what comes off the AP news wire, and they run with that, and then they expand on it. Well, I got to make an hour and a half out of this, so they expand it out as much as they can. So. And I can't. I've got better things to do with my time. I don't know about you, but I have better things to do with my time than to dive into all the drama and hate and everything else. It's like every once in a while you'll see people pop into the the stream and to the comment section. Why do you hate this channel? No, I don't hate anybody. I don't even hate AD. I think what he does is despicable. I think he's a drunk. I think he's a compulsive gambler. I may not like anything about the guy, but if people like his content, great. And I'm not here to convince people not to like it. I wish he would stop trying to con little old ladies out of their pensions. And there's a lot more that he does that people don't necessarily see on the up front. So to each their own. I don't have room in my heart and my mind to hate people. Just who I am. Lily Shaw, RFC. I felt terrible for 4 days after Astra. Yeah. Duty Ron, like most cops, is passionate on doing the right thing. He is, Gala. Mad respect for the man. Alexandra C. Hey, well, late and also haven't caught a video in a few weeks, I know, but wondering your thoughts on the Cash Gannon. Cash Gannon. Well, it's a tragedy. Binge watching, catch up, and welcome to the stream, Alexandra. What are my thoughts on Cash Gannon? Oh, yes. I don't really have. Besides, obviously, it's a tragic series of events that never should have happened, and I really feel sorry for the family that is still there, because they have to be. That has got to kill you to have something like that happen. But where were the people watching out for him? Who was going to protect him? It makes you wonder. Yeah, and don't fuck with cats. Wow. By the way, yeah, I don't know if it showed your comment, but don't fuck with cats. That is, Robin. That is oh my God. I'm speechless by that. Why would you ever think that that was going to be okay? And that nobody was going to search your ass down? Pathetic freaking loser. My God. Guy was sick, yeah. My mom would say to Lori Vallow, cut her head off for killing her kids. Something needs to happen to her. Dawn Marie. Hi, Dawn. How are you doing today? I hope you had a terrific week, Dawn. Just every time I get ready to do another video on Lori Vallow, I wonder, and I think to myself, what must that be like to be, if you could just be like a fly on the wall, as they say, to the events leading up to that, where she was trying to convince everyone around her that Melanie Gibbs, however you want to pronounce her name. People want to pronounce it a million ways and then jump on you for pronouncing it wrong. But Melanie, that's how I'm going to say it, Melanie Gibbs. But about JJ being a demon, being possessed, being a zombie, trying to convince people. Was she trying to convince herself at the same time that what she was saying was real? Or did she really believe that people could be possessed because what Chad had taught her and what she convinced herself of? And at what point did she know that her brother, Alex, was, she knew he was the enforcer. He had done everything that that she, whenever she had a beef with somebody, and I don't know what. And I think about it, it's like, why? She could have sent both of the kids to their dads. We know Joseph wanted, his daughter. Charles wanted, JJ, and she could have sent them off, and they've been out of the way, and she could have lived her life and and done everything that she wanted to do. She didn't have to kill them. and it wasn't like they're with them. Maybe they'll take the kids or whatever, but she did it anyways. What's up, Tim?
Yeah, buddy.
What time is it? Oh, it's almost 10.
Almost 10. Yeah, your lawn's pretty high.
Huh?
Your lawn's pretty high.
You're right. My dust rag.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh. No.
Ah!
Oh yeah. It's okay. I'll be part of it. Not gonna touch it.
There's Tim's shoulder.
My shoulder. Elbow.
I gotta wrap this thing up anyway. Something.
It's starting to be breezy out already.
Huh?
It's
Is it?
a little bit breezy. Well, not too bad. I'm gonna say that. I knew it might be kind of blustery.
That's what we were talking about. Lori Vallow.
Oh yeah.
The freaking nut job.
Unbelievable.
There. Now you guys can all see Tim. Tim and his smiling eyes.
Yeah, whatever.
Colleen 41. Bye. You have a great day. But I gotta wrap this up anyways, ladies and gentlemen. Gotta end it here. We've got things that we gotta do. But I hope you all have a great day today. And I will see everyone tomorrow, hopefully, on the stream. That's at 7 p.m. here on YouTube. Almost 10 a.m. there, K-Love. Robin says hi.
Hi,
Right
Robin.
there. Hi, Tim.
Hey, Robin.
Everyone stay safe. Bye, Will. You have a great day.